Putting stuff up, it's got to be the worst part of strongman. All the plates and everything back inside. I'm dead tired. Back, I've moved that thing about 3 or 4 times. Ooh, well, I'm calling that a day, guys. That's another fun Sunday right there. Big day. I can say that I've had fun, which is, I don't know, what more can I ask for, if I'm being honest. I got out here, had fun, built a little something. I don't know, I hate to say I got some exercise in, but exercise with weights. So I definitely, you know, I built some muscle and not in severe pain. Got to put all my gear on, get all my cameras out. I look and smell like a strong man, so that's a big step for me. All around the world, same old song. So looking at the day, oh, it smells like fish. Looking at the day, I came with a plan. I wrote down a good plan last night, and at the last minute I kind of changed everything around. Looking at some clients getting ready for different contests. I've got a client getting ready for Clash in August. And I had written down that my first event was going to be a frame carry with the sled. And the more I began looking at the events that they had, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and get an idea on how it's going to feel to do the event that they have, which is a super yoke down, heavier super yoke back, and then a farmer's walk down again. So I thought I could kind of get a feel for that on my own and have an idea on how we're going to train for that going into it. I want to have an idea what it's going to feel like before I ask them to do anything as well, especially when it comes to training methods. You know, as far as competing, everything's going to be hard. Everything's going to be, you know, give it all you got as fast as you can. But how you train is considerably different. So I'm trying to get an idea of what kind of percents we need to use, what kind of contrast methods, we need to use. Do we need to use sleds? Do we need to use the bands and harness? Is it better to train with heavier weights, shorter distances, longer distances? So I did every minute on the minute, which was probably a little bit too short because I needed to turn things around, move things, switch harnesses. But what I did was I did super yoke a distance, and then I added 50 kilos, and then super yoke a distance with the sled behind me, and then I finished off with the frame, again with the sled behind me. And then coming back, I did, I think I went 90 seconds on the coming back. I got a little bit smarter, but I did the yoke against the, with the harness with the bands, yoke a distance, and then I grabbed the sled, the frame with sled, brought it back up to the yoke, and then yoke a distance, and then repeated that for several rounds. I really like both methods, and both of them have their place. I will say I think that the sled builds strength more. If you're trying to catch up, if you need to build strength on the yoke or the frame, the sled is probably the way to go. If you're trying to just get faster, if you're someone who's just, the same speed at all weights, but you're trying to get faster at that speed, and just getting stronger doesn't seem to be, turning any revolutions for you, having the harness attached to the bands does make a difference. It's not enough resistance to really hold you down or to change the way the implement feels, but it's enough resistance that you get that urge to, hey, let's go faster. So I'm probably going to look here in a few weeks and see if I can get some more bands and resistance for that. I would love it if it went even farther, if the bands were a little more stretchy, and I would like a little more tension, maybe. With the frame, it's a little dangerous. I've popped my head a couple times with the yoke. It gets so tight, and then boom, you've got to let go because it's pulling you back, and you smack the back of your head. But once you've got them as tight as they're going to go, those bands are pulling you back pretty hard. I don't think in the frame it's the safest thing to do, because you can't just run back unless you're super athletic. You can jump over the back end of that frame. The next event that I did, man, I finished off, man, on the yoke and frame. On the yoke and frame, I had a couple of sets towards the end that were fast for me. I really don't know where that came from, but it was really fast for me. The event, I was proud of everything that I did today, but I did the Husafell stone after that, and I'm not for sure if I know my bicep is feeling better. I know my leg, just as a miracle, feels decent today. But I picked it up, got a good grip, got a good spot, and I did 4 or 5 runs with the empty Husafell, and I stopped and I went and got a 10-kilo plate and put it inside, and that's the most that I've used on that in a year and a half. And I did a couple of sets with that, and it just felt good. And I thought, I'm gonna go get another 10 kilo and put it in there and try it and see. And I thought, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm having a good day, and nothing's hurting, and I'm feeling mentally positive. And I haven't had any of those things in a while, so we stopped right there. And I think that was big. I got video on my phone and on the camera because I want to show my training partner, because I felt like I was moving faster than I have in years on that. And I want to send him that video so he can see. And I'm going to say, hey, what do you see? And let's just see if he says, hey, you're moving pretty fast, for me anyway. Next event was the Fingal Finger. I had an idea last night how I can set up with the super yoke in the middle, the lighter finger on one side, which is what I've been training with, and the heavier finger on the other side. Took me a little while to set everything up, and that's really the a big pain when you're training by yourself, setting everything up, especially for the first time, because you're not for sure, hey, what's going to go here, what's going to go here. I'm trying to see everything in my head. But I got it set up, and the plan, I remember taking the big finger, back in October, November, and barely getting a single, and saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm not doing anymore. But the plan was to get 2 reps with the light one, and then just see how far I could get with the big one, and then go and finish off with the light one. But I got my 2 reps with the light one. The first one felt bad. I wasn't serious. Second one felt really good. Went over to the heavy one, and the heavy one, it just felt good. I'm sure I'm going to see a bunch of mistakes on video, but it just felt good. Back for 2 more light ones. Timer ran out, and I decided to go ahead and do the heavy one again. I don't know, guys, that was a PR. I mean, that was just PRs across the board for the day. By the time I got everything put away, I mean, because at that point I've got to get the stones and the sandbags and the tires and both telephone poles, the yoke and the frame put away, all the bumper plates, all the harnesses, straps and everything has to be put away, picked up and put away again. I really, you know, I had written down that I wanted to do the Denny rings inside, maybe log, maybe some chain bench press, and work on the circus dumbbell. But you know, I feel pretty good. I don't feel terribly beat up. Mentally, I feel positive. So I stopped there. I did go over and do some Viking press. You know, it was in my head to do 5 sets of 10, and you know, that's just not there strict yet. So I did 10 or 12, and then the numbers began declining. I did every minute on the minute, and I think I wrote in my notes to go every 3 minutes. That way I could give myself a chance to fully recover and continue to get the 10 to 12 rep sets that I need to make my shoulders grow. But guys, I don't know. That's really the most positive thing. Most positive thing, except for last night with my son reading the food truck sign. That was awesome. And my oldest son making a solar system out of balls and wire. That was pretty awesome. My wife is getting a paper published, you know, in a research journal, which is pretty freaking awesome. So I don't do anything really awesome except like cook foods and raise kids and lift weights. So this was really the first awesome thing I've done in a long time. So I'm gonna take this day and ride the awesome, finish my water and my smelly fish omega-3s, and get my stinky multi-ply neoprene self in the car and get home at a decent hour, get the kids to bed, start to work, and then we'll see you guys tomorrow night for something. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, guys. Today was a great day to learn from. See you tomorrow.